That's what's going on. It's the Basketball Hut. So the first round of the NBA playoffs is over with. My predictions for that were I was 2 of 8, bro. I was 2 of 8, man. Like it hurts, bro. The only series I got right were Suns versus Lakers and Wizards versus Sixers. Those were the only two series I got right. The rest of them, I don't know, bro. I don't know, man. I just got all of them wrong, which really does suck. But you know what? I get redemption time because we're moving on to the second round of the playoffs. They're all set, ready to go. We actually just had two second round game ones. We had Hawks versus Sixers, and then we had Bucks versus Nets. I already gave my prediction for Bucks versus Nets. So if you want to check out that video, then by all means do so and just look at my thoughts on the series and just what my prediction is. But with that being said, we're going to go over the other three playoff series: Hawks versus Sixers, Suns versus Nuggets, and then Utah Jazz versus the Los Angeles Clippers. So without further ado, let's get started. Alright, first matchup, we're going to start with the Utah Jazz versus the Los Angeles Clippers. Now, I really do like the Utah Jazz a lot. They have a nice balanced team. They're really good on defense, and that's mainly due to the fact that they have Rudy Gobert and some very good perimeter defenders as well. And then not to mention that they're a great offensive team as well. Their three-point shooting has been great so far. Donovan Mitchell, he's going to put up some nice scoring numbers. You got Mike Conley, who was really good in that first round as well. I mean, he was putting up like 20 and 10 a game on great shooting. And then you have guys like Joe Ingles, Jordan Clarkson coming off the bench, providing that leadership. And just, it's a great all-around team. They got good starters, good bench depth. But at the end of the day, I feel like they don't have what it takes to beat the Los Angeles Clippers. I just want to reiterate, I like the Jazz as a team. They're a very good team, and they'll definitely make this competitive as hell. But I'm just going to say, Clippers got Kawhi Leonard and Paul George. And I know Paul George hasn't exactly been the best this playoffs as usual, but I mean, Kawhi is still Kawhi, and the Clippers also have some pretty good depth as well. Reggie Jackson has been good against the Mavs. You also have guys like Ibaka, who's, still going to be coming back. You got Batum, who's really good. Marcus Morris Sr. can turn it up. And then off the bench, you have guys like Luke Kennard, Terrence Mann, who were both great in that Game 7 against Dallas. Like, they just got a nice, well-rounded team as well. But the Clippers have one advantage, and that's their superstar. I mean, Kawhi Leonard and Paul George, those are the difference makers. Besides that, like, both teams are evenly balanced, bro. But again, just, Kawhi is Kawhi, and at the end of the day, it's just all about picking who's the better team. And the better team for this series, in my opinion, is going to be the Clippers. Not to mention that the Clippers also are a really good three-point shooting team, and they've always had these good games against the Jazz. So I'm definitely going to say, for my prediction, it's going to be Clippers in 6. I do think Jazz will play like the first seed. Like, it's not like they're going to play like, pretenders or whatever. They're definitely going to turn it up. But at the end of the day, it's just Kawhi is Kawhi, and, you got a superstar and the other team doesn't. It's kind of obvious who's going to win at the end, but my prediction, Clippers in 6. All right, moving on to the next playoff series, we have the Phoenix Suns going up against the Denver Nuggets. And first off, let's talk about the Denver Nuggets. The Nuggets are a very good team, even without Jamal Murray. I mean, they still are led by the MVP, Nikola Jokic. And Jokic he's been phenomenal in that Portland series, just carrying the load on offense, whether it's scoring the ball or passing. He's always there. He's always willing to do the extra thing to help his team win. And also the other guys stepped up. Two players I want to mention. Michael Porter Jr. played a great series against Portland. He filled in that scoring gap for Jamal Murray, and he just did such a good job, getting to his spots and shooting the ball. Just overall a really good scorer. And I still can't believe the Nuggets literally got Michael Porter Jr. for like literally nothing. Like, straight up, like, that was a steal of a pick by the Nuggets right there. So just very interesting to see what he'll do in this series. But and then also you have Monte Morris, who's a really good quality point guard. I've been a fan of his game for a while. I've been saying he's underrated, and this series only proved that. He had some really good games against the Blazers. Aaron Gordon, really solid offensively. He's more there for his defense, but I think he's still a really good defender. I like his game a lot. And JaVale McGee's there as a backup center, good rim protector and rebounder. But just overall, I really like what the Nuggets have been doing, but I still think, though, the Suns are going to take this series in 6, and the reason why is because not only does Phoenix have an elite backcourt, because the Portland Trailblazers, they have an elite backcourt in Dame and CJ. Phoenix also has that with Chris Paul and Devin Booker, but here's the thing. The Suns are not the Blazers when it comes to defense, because the Blazers were really good offensively, but defensively they were kind of like mediocre, I guess you could say. Whereas with the Phoenix Suns, they're very aggressive on the defensive end. They rotate very well, get the proper positioning. Just overall a really good defensive team. They got good perimeter defenders as well. Guy like Mikal Bridges, with his long arms, and then in the paint, DeAndre Ayton has been really good as a rim protector. So they're gonna make life difficult for Denver when they're on the offensive end. So definitely their defense is going to be a big part. And then not to mention that Phoenix, as I said, is just as good of an offensive team as the Portland Trailblazers. They still got that elite backcourt with CP3 and Devin Booker, and then you have shooters all around with Mikal Bridges, Jay Crowder, and then Ayton can score in the post. So I think the Suns are going to take this in 6. Obviously, again, Nuggets ain't going down without a fight. They're just not that type of team, but I do have the Suns winning the series overall. They're just too balanced, bro. They got great defense and great offense, and at the end of the day, for the Nuggets, losing Jamal Murray, that scoring option, a guy who could put up 20 points a game, that could really change the course of a playoff series. So, with that being said, taking in the Jamal Murray injury and just how balanced of a team the Suns are, I gotta give it to the Suns. So my prediction is Suns in 6. Moving on to the final playoff series that we're going to be talking about, we're going to be talking about the Philadelphia 76ers going up against the Atlanta Hawks. Two very good teams. Now, Game 1 has already happened. By the time this video is uploaded, Game 1 has already passed. The Hawks, I think, won the game. So, yeah, I'm not going to be basing my prediction off of that game, though. This is just my thoughts on before the game. So everything you're about to hear right now is just my thoughts before Game 1. So here's what I thought about before Game 1. My prediction is I said Sixers in 6 games, and yes, I have pretty much every playoff series going to 6 games, except for Bucks versus Nets. But basically, I think that the Hawks are a very good team. Trae Young has proven me wrong. I thought he was going to struggle against the top tier defense, but he always just managed to show up. The Knicks, they were a top 5 defense, and Trae just cooked them. Putting in 3-pointer after 3-pointer, layup, passing. He was just a demigod on offense. Like, no one could stop him. And I do expect him to make this type of production in the postseason. Game 1, we saw that. We saw Trae Young just going crazy on offense. And the Sixers are a better defensive team than the Knicks. So no one's stopping Trae Young from getting to his spots, and he's just going to take advantage of that for sure. Also, Clint Capella, very good shot blocker, very good rebounder, so he might give Joel Embiid some problems. And also the Hawks got really good shooters, Bogdanovich, Kevin Huerter, DeAndre Hunter, who's not just good 3-point shooter, but also good defensively. I think he's going to be guarding Tobias Harris a lot, who's really important for the Sixers. But Hawks are a very good team, very good young team. They're ready, they're energetic, they're hungry, bro, and that's something that the Sixers are going to have to watch out for. But as I said, I think the Sixers are going to win this series because, again, even though you have Clint Capella to contain Embiid, I still think Embiid's going to get to his spot and just absolutely dominate in the paint because he's Joel Embiid. I mean, he's a superstar center. He's one of the best centers in the game, just up there with Jokic. So, I mean, there's not much you can do to stop him. And then also the Sixers got good shooting. Seth Curry, Danny Green, Tobias Harris, all guys who can light it up from deep. And also Atlanta's defense in general isn't exactly all that good. So I think the Sixers should have no problem just lighting it up from downtown, getting to their spots. And also they're a great defensive team. Danny Green, good on defense. Ben Simmons is a defensive player of the year candidate, so he's going to have to try and contain Trae Young. He's going to have to be more aggressive on defense with him. And I know Trae is really good at drawing fouls, but if the Sixers are going to win, Simmons has to go at Trae Young when he's on defense. So just, something to look out for. And then, of course, Matisse Thybulle, who's a really good perimeter defender. So basically, the Sixers, in my opinion, all they really have to do to win is just make sure your shooting's on point, and also just, find a way to contain Trae Young. I mean, there's no way you're going to win this series if you're going to allow Trae Young to go off for like 30, 40 points a night. So you have to throw everything you have against him. Ben Simmons, Thybulle, Danny Green, whatever it is, man. You double team him if you have to. Let the others create their own shot. Let the others handle the ball besides Trae Young, all right? Just let anyone go off. Like, you can live with guys like Bogdanovich going off for like 20 points, 25 points, but if you're allowing Trae Young to do that, he's going to be unstoppable. So basically, Sixers have to be locked in on defense, and I think they can win this series. So my prediction is Sixers in 6 games. And that's going to be it for the video, guys. As I said, I already did Bucks versus Nets. I already did my prediction video for that. So if you want to check it out and see what I thought about it, just go to the video. But that's going to be it. Now, I don't know how accurate my predictions are going to be. The first round kind of proved that I really suck at predictions. As I said, I was 2 of 8. But hopefully I'm right with a lot of these. Hopefully, my goal is to get at least half of them right. All right, if I get at least 2 of 4, I'm gonna be a happy man. All right, I just got to get 2 of 4. Okay, I just got to get 2. Okay, so hopefully I can do that. But, with that being said, thank you all so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. We're trying to grow the channel by the minute over here, so make sure you're along for the ride. But with that being said, thank you all so much for watching once again. Hope you have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you all in the next video. Peace out, guys.